and gentlemen, boys, girls, angry faithful of all ages. It's that same bat time this week. And oddly enough, we're on the same bat channel. Who'd have thought? Welcome to Nerd Sports episode 230. As you notice, we are yet once again without the esteemed company of the mountain man, Chris Jacka. Chris, button it up, dude. Spare parts. Come back. Your seat's here next week. So, unless you want to grace us with your presence this week, totally understand. But without further ado, we're going to turn things over to our esteemed producer, David Dickerman, albeit very briefly, for this week's Weird Sport. David.
This is called bocce ball, and going from what we had last week, it's the same thing. It's a volleyball type game.
Oh, it looks like bossa ball, not bocce ball.
Oh, bossa ball. But they have like a trampoline in the center of it.
Football, volleyball, and gymnastics.
Yeah.
Oh.
That looks fun. I mean, I couldn't play it now because as soon as I take one jump on that trampoline, my whole back's going to kill me.
I mean, my knee wants to explode just looking at this video.
Yeah.
Plus, dude,
I know.
My cardio is nowhere near where it needs to be jumping around on a trampoline, dude.
Yeah.
No.
It looks fun.
That just it does. I mean, it looks great, like great fun. I mean, I'm just like, okay. I want to know, like, these people that come up with these sports, they're like, I suck at everything else, but I'm kind of good at these other things. I wonder if I can combine them. Yeah.
I think that's the case. I mean, look at that one.
We know that's how curling got here.
Yeah.
So, but
it's all right. It's like that baseball game that we saw in the Netherlands where the baseball field is just all kinds of messed up. It's like, hey,
I've seen videos of that game being played though. Dude, it's wild, man.
Really?
Oh, it's wild. Yeah. Do not get me to explain the rules to you, but it is wild.
No. I'm too stupid to even come up with the concept.
Okay, so this past week, it's been kind of a crazy week in baseball. This past weekend was even crazier. We're going to start off in the American League East. The only American League team so far to clinch a postseason berth is the Toronto Blue Jays. They are currently 6-4 over their last 10. They are at 90 wins and 66 losses, and they are off tonight. Everybody except the Brewers, the Padres, the Giants, and the Cardinals are off tonight, which is kind of cool. Kind of gives everybody a big breather. We're gearing up for game 162. I mean, because we're down to the last 6 or 7 games of the season. So hold on to your butts, everybody, because this is going to be a little wild here. I kept talking about the American League Central over the course of this past season, and it just seemed like they were the world beaters, right? I mean, they had the best record in baseball at one point, and then all of a sudden, over the last month, they just forgot how to play. Their starting rotation would give up runs. Their bullpens were blowing games. And they just went on this huge slump. So the Detroit Tigers are losers of their last 6. They're 1-9 over their last 10 games. Going into, I think it was September 10th. Or no, the beginning of September, they had like something like a 10.5 game lead over the Cleveland Guardians for their division, right? And then the Cleveland Guardians decided that they were just going to reel off 10 wins in a row. They finally lost yesterday. So that puts them at 9-1 over their last 10, 10 over their last 11 games, but they closed their gap. They are now within 1 game of the division lead with the Detroit Tigers. Now, why is that important? It's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Cleveland and Detroit are playing each other this week in a 3-game series. It's going to be in Cleveland, so you know that the Cleveland faithful are going to be packing that house to the brim, right? It's very pivotal. I mean, it could be a 2-game swing if Cleveland takes all 3 games from Detroit. On the flip side of that, if Detroit comes out and wins this series, they'll gain a game and give themselves a 2-game cushion to play with going into the last series for the season finale. Now, the Seattle Mariners were just recently in town playing the Houston Astros for a 3-game series that was basically for the division. The Seattle Mariners not only came in and swept the Astros, they soundly beat the Astros. Cal Riley, just the big dumper. That's his nickname. He's the catcher for Seattle. Hit his 58th home run. He passed Ken Griffey Jr. for the most home runs by a Seattle Mariner in a single season. That says a lot, right? They still have. They're hosting Colorado starting tomorrow. So, I mean, ooh, the Astros at this point they're thinking wild card, because I doubt very seriously that the Mariners are going to drop games to the Colorado Rockies. They're just too good right now. They're getting hot at the right time. The Mariners are 9-1 over their last 10. They've won their last 4. And, conversely, the Astros are 5-5 over their last 10. They've lost their last 3, being swept by the aforementioned Seattle Mariners. Nobody has been really they don't really talk about who's been mathematically eliminated, blah, blah, blah. The Tampa Bay Rays were eliminated by the Boston Red Sox, losing 2 out of 3 games in that series to the Red Sox over the weekend. But Boston's going up to Toronto. They start a series up there tomorrow with 5 games, in arrears to the Toronto Blue Jays. The best that the Red Sox could hope for is to close that gap to 2 games, and potentially, depending on because they go to Toronto and then they come home to close out the season at Fenway Park against the Detroit Tigers. So if both New York and Toronto, let's just call it what it is at this point in the season, shit the bed, it's mathematically possible to still win the division. I'm not holding my breath. I'm more realistic than that. But in the National League, we've got the Philadelphia Phillies and the Milwaukee Brewers. They have both clinched their division. Okay, so the National League East and Central divisions are spoken for. The Cubs have clinched a playoff berth, and so have the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, of note, with the Los Angeles Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw of South Lake, Texas, down there, for me, up there in Dallas. He's calling it a career. He's retiring after 18 seasons in the major leagues. This guy, 2-time World Series champion, multiple-time All-Star. He's got 3,000 strikeouts. He's got over 200 victories. I mean, the dude's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's not going to be unanimous, because I really don't think anybody is. But
I wonder if he's going to use his gold card.
Yeah, more than likely.
No, they
more
don't.
Than likely,
they get it. And they never use them. I was watching a little thing on one of the players had a gold card. He's like, "Yeah, I never use this thing, but I still have it." It's
it's a lifetime pass to any ballpark in the country.
Yeah.
So, but 9 times out of 10, it's they're going to the ballpark that they played in when they retired, right? So, hey, you guys know me. They call ahead of time. Hey, I'm going to be in town. Yeah. Okay, yep, sure. Just go to will call. or just coming through the players' entrance. We got you. But it's a nice idea to have, right? A lifetime pass to watch as much baseball as you want. Like, come on, man. Yeah. Say less to me. Let's see here. The Cubs are 7 games back from the Brewers. Again, they've already clinched the division, so mathematically they can't win their division. The same thing goes with the Mets, who are 12 games back of the Phillies. The Dodgers, the reason why they haven't clinched their division is because the Padres only trail them by 3 games. Now, Milwaukee, they still have a lot to play for. Right now, they've got the best record in baseball. Okay, so best record in baseball gets to host home field throughout. So it's not like they're going to go and be like, oh, we really don't like the Dodgers and we want the Dodgers to be the wild card. So we're going to just throw these games against, San Diego starting tonight. No, they're not going to do that because they still have the best record in baseball to play for, which gives them home field throughout the playoffs. That includes the World Series, if they get that far. Which I really hope that they do, because the Milwaukee Brewers are a wonderful Cinderella story, if that's even a thing in baseball this year. And I'm here for it. I want to see this team succeed because of Bob Uecker. I really do. I mean, I'm here for that kind of chaos, right? So, as far as the wild card is going to be concerned, come on, there we go. Okay, so the Yankees right now, they've got basically kind of I don't want to say a chokehold on the first wild card spot, but they're up 4 games over everybody else, right? They got a 4-game lead over the Red Sox for that first wild card spot. Now, the Cleveland Guardians and the Houston Astros are both tied for that third wild card slot. Now, here's the thing, okay? Boston needs to stay out of their own way, right? So their offense needs to wake up. Their pitching really needs to start making quality pitches, quality starts, save the bullpen, don't exhaust your resources and everything like that. The reason why I say that is because if it came down to a tie, okay, I know I said that the Red Sox, they have a 1-game cushion between them and Cleveland and Houston. But the kicker of that is that Boston won the season series against both of those teams, so it owns the tiebreaker on both of those teams. So in effect, the Red Sox have a 2-game lead over the third place wildcard team, right? So that's something to take into consideration, which you get down to this time of the year and tiebreakers become a thing. Scoreboard watching is definitely a thing. But with the Astros, they're going to be playing against the Athletics starting tomorrow. They need to figure out how to win with the injuries and everything that have been occurring with Houston. Houston right now, they own the regular season title for most players on the IL. And the fact that they're still in the playoff hunt at this point of the year, with as many injuries as they've had, says a lot about Joe Espada, their manager. There was a lot of people that were calling for him to be fired earlier in the year, and there's still some people, in the Houston area that are still rumbling for that. But if he doesn't win Manager of the Year, I absolutely know it's fixed. But in order for him to get even considered for Manager of the Year, he needs to figure out a way to get his club into the postseason. And in all honesty, the Manager of the Year is probably going to go to the manager over there in Milwaukee, just because of what he's done with that club. And I mean, everybody knew Milwaukee's been playing great baseball, and they've been doing it consistently all year. I mean, it's almost been a wire-to-wire kind of a thing, which is nice. I mean, it gives the people in Milwaukee actually something to root for. I don't know. It's cool to watch. And I mean, like I said, that this time of year, late September baseball is just by itself. It's almost a It's almost a whole season unto itself, which is really fun to watch. For those of you who are Texas Rangers fans, mathematically they're not out of it yet. They're only 5 games back, but they're going to need a lot of help.
How many games do they have to go for to at least get a
well, okay, so we start talking about magic numbers, right? So magic number, basically at the end of the season, you talk about, all right, how many games do I need to win to negate other outcomes across the league in order to obtain a certain goal, whether it be clinch a playoff berth, whether it be win the division, or a wild card spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I believe the Red Sox magic number in effect is I think it's either 3 or 4. It might still be 5 because they lost last night.
Because they still it's still in combination with other
so
teams.
Basically what that means is that they need to win these next 5 games to clinch a playoff berth, right? To clinch that second playoff spot or wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
Or they need to win. Cleveland and Houston both need to lose, which would reduce their magic number by 2, right? So instead of it being like, okay, hey, we got 5, now we won, and now it's 4, right? But if they win and the teams behind them lose, then instead of it being 4, it reduces to 3. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's all about mathematically keeping up, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think mathematically that the Rangers are out of it. But realistically, their season's over. And I say that they're 3-7 over their last 10. They've lost their last 7 games.
Mm.
Even if the Rangers were to limp into the postseason, they would be one and done. Honestly, they wouldn't get past the wild card round. They just wouldn't. Not with the injuries, not with the lack of depth, not with the offensive output. I mean, their pitching has been their saving grace, so to speak, but they're still bleeding runs. So the defense behind the pitching staff is not helping. So, as far as the National League is going to be concerned, like I said, the Brewers and the Phillies have both clinched their divisions. The Dodgers have clinched a postseason berth. They have not clinched their division by virtue of the fact of their 3-game lead over the San Diego Padres. All 3 division leaders have lost. They lost yesterday. But in the wild card, you got the Cubs holding onto the first spot. The San Diego Padres are holding onto the second slot, and the third slot is tied between the Reds and the Mets. The Reds are they're hosting Pittsburgh tomorrow. They're 6-4 over their last 10. They've won their last 5 games. The Mets have lost their last 2 games. They're 4-6 over their last 10, and they're playing in Chicago against the Cubs. So, as you can imagine, the people out in Queens over there at Citi Field, the Mets faithful, they are not holding their breath at all. I mean, the Cubs can't get knocked out, right? Even if they were to get swept by the Mets, the Padres are going to need to win against Milwaukee to overtake them in the wild card standings. I don't see it happening. So, at the very least, with this next series, even if some teams were to get swept, it's not gonna shake up the standings a whole lot. Arizona Diamondbacks, they're 1 game out of the wild card, so they can easily leapfrog New York. They could even leapfrog Cincinnati, depending on the outcome of their series. But the Diamondbacks have a pretty large hill to climb because, like I said, the Dodgers know that the Padres are 3 games behind them, so they've got to play. Right? They've got to play hard. They've got to play to win. They just can't mail it in, right? The Diamondbacks are hosting the Dodgers starting tomorrow. So that's a divisional series going toward the end of the season. These are all important games. I mean, hugely important. And it's funny because, there's a lot of people that complain and gripe and groan about the grind, the 6-month grind of the Major League Baseball season. This is why they play 162 games. And it's because a lot of times it might come down to the last day. It might come down to a game 162.
Yeah.
And that, oh man, that is some stress right there. But it's going to be fun to watch. So let's go ahead. Let me get the spreadsheet pulled up. We're going to get into last week's picks. This past weekend was not nice to us.
Well,
hold on. Slow your roll there, Colin. Holy 6-7, dude. Let's go. Yeah, I did that. Okay. So,
there's not like it makes no sense.
Right now, it doesn't make sense when anybody says it to begin with.
No, yeah, but at least there's like
it's on brand. Shut up.
No.
Anyways, right now the Lions are beating the Ravens 14-7.
Mm-hmm.
Chris was the only one to pick Detroit. Granted, it's the second quarter with a minute 5 left in the half, but still, we're going to start Thursday night. The Dolphins at the Bills. I really don't think that this game was in a whole lot of doubt. The Buffalo Bills did win this game by 10 points, 31-21. We all picked Buffalo. And then it starts to get a little sketchy for everybody but Colin. We're going to get into that. What we thought was the no shit game of the week, it was our lock, the Angry Me lock of the week. The lock is busted. Somebody came with a pair of bolt cutters and busted the lock. They broke into the storage unit. It was a mess. We all picked Atlanta to beat Carolina, and Carolina, for whatever reason, figured out how to play football.
I think it was because they had almost a
good nothing.
I think it was because they had like a good amount of fans in the audience. They were like, "Oh, maybe."
But I'm willing to bet that on a majority of the people that bought tickets to that game were there to watch the Falcons.
But like,
you're not wrong.
How do you manage to not even score a field goal? Like how?
The simple answer, the politically expedient answer, is piss poor planning. That's what it was. They went in thinking, "Oh, we got this. We can use the back half of the playbook." That's the reason why those pages are in the back half of the playbook, because they don't work. So Carolina, we see you. We see you. Nobody got that pick right. Next up, nobody picked the Browns to beat to pick Green Bay or to beat Green Bay. Let me start that over because it sounded gibberish. Nobody picked Cleveland to beat Green Bay. Nobody. It took a last-second field goal. And I'm like, okay.
And in the beginning of this season, those field goals are they're pushing those kicks.
They're pushing the 50-plus yarders. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Next up, we've got Houston at Jacksonville. All right. I'm going to just kind of go out and say this. The problem with Houston, specifically the Texans, is the fact that they fired their offensive coordinator from last year. Why? I don't know. In-house fighting? I don't know. It's above our pay grade. They hired a new offensive coordinator. His new system, so far, 3 weeks into the season, doesn't work. I'm listening to the Houston radio call on Sirius yesterday, and they almost unanimously throughout the course of the entire game made comments about how CJ Stroud looked lost and confused in this new system. There's no rhythm to it. There's no flow. A CJ Stroud, it just seems like he's distracted, right? He's, normally in stride, got a good rapport, got good timing with Nico Collins. I'm not saying that they haven't been able to hook up with each other for scores or for yardage, but the offensive line has forgotten how to block. The their O line is they're doing their best impression of a colander or a sieve, right? They're letting everybody through. CJ doesn't have time to stand in the pocket. He's a pocket passer. He's a pocket quarterback. He can run. He does have legs. He is fast, but that is not part of his game. And it shows. It just they need to start blocking. They need to stop shooting themselves in the foot with these stupid false starts, illegal shifts. I mean, you would think that after they got rid of Tunsil or Tanae, is it Tanae? Tunsil? Tanae? Anyway, you would think that after they got rid of him in the offseason that the offensive penalties would go down. No, nay. No, somebody else is picking up that workload. But they're not blocking. They're not blocking. Anyways, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they beat Houston. Chris and Colin were the ones that got that pick right.
Which one?
Then we move on to the Bengals at the Vikings. Actually, David and Colin picked the Bengals to win. The Vikings win 48-10.
I decided to show up.
Well, they both teams were working with a backup quarterback.
I'll be right back.
Now, there's been a lot of like rumbling going around the league, a lot of jokes being tossed around on social media that JJ McCarthy isn't actually hurt, but they're just listing him as, being on the IL with a high ankle sprain.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's buying it. I think at this point, they needed to be honest, be like, hey, look, we're going to swap out starters and we're going to see how this plays out. And JJ just needs to watch and he needs to learn a little bit more. But Minnesota did win that game. Chris and I got those picks right. And then we move on to Pittsburgh going up to Foxborough to play the New England Patriots. You and David, Colin, were the ones that picked Pittsburgh to win that game. So 21-14 was the final on that.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles hosted the Los Angeles Rams. That was a pretty close game. It wasn't the shootout everybody thought it was going to be. It was 26-33. We all picked Philadelphia to win, so we all get that one.
Did you say the Seahawks?
No, I didn't say the Seahawks. I said the Rams and the Eagles.
I thought you said Seahawks.
Next was the Buccaneers hosting the New York Jets. That was a 2-point victory. It was a sloppy game, but hey, a win is a win. Again, it was decided by a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody picked Tampa Bay on that one. It's just like with this next game, everybody picked Indianapolis to beat the Titans 41-20. We all get a knock on that one.
Yeah.
Everybody picked Washington to beat the Raiders. They did 41-24.
What did I tell you in the car Wednesday when you were like, but Washington is doing their backup quarterback. I'm like, yeah, but they're playing the Raiders.
Yeah, you did tell me that. Let me see here. Colin, you and I picked the Chargers to beat the Broncos. And I initially, if you remember, I was initially leaning towards picking the Broncos because I was like, you know what? They're on a roll. I like Bo Nix, good quarterback. But for whatever reason, the Chargers are just trying to come out and make a statement for their division this year.
The one time I don't pick the Broncos.
Well, I mean, because you kind of went out there and said, I'm going to pick the Chargers. And I was like, you know what? The little voice spoke to me in the back of my head going, do the roar. So, I sided with you. Good thing I did. There you go. Moving on to Seattle, where the Seahawks, I said Seahawks this time, we're hosting the New Orleans Saints. I know David said he was going to be back, but like, come on, man. Seahawks did beat the Saints. We all picked Seattle on that one. So, hooray.
And
then the Dallas game. This game was, I'm sure it was frustrating to watch, but it was even more frustrating to listen to. Colin, you were the only one to pick Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you were.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Strange things are brewing in the stratosphere. 31-14. I mean, at one point it was, they were up 14-3, and the Cowboys came back and tied it. And then before the half, the Bears went up 2 scores, right? I'm just like, oh, the second half's not going to be pretty. Dak Prescott threw his first of many interceptions for the year. And then he was pulled out of the game in the fourth quarter. The backup quarterback goes in. He throws that second interception. Basically, I would say it sealed the game, but the game was already decided before the first half was even over. So, yeah, you were the only one to pick the Bears. And then Arizona going to San Francisco. That game was really close. Again, it was decided by a last-second kick. Mac Jones gets his first win as a starting quarterback in the NFL, so good for him. 15-16 was the final on that one. You and David picked San Francisco, so you each got a point there. And then nobody had any kind of reservations that the Chiefs were going to beat the New York Football Giants, because they did. 22-9. It wasn't without drama, though, because Travis Kelce was seen yelling and getting in the face of the head coach, Andy Reid, during the game.
He needs to sit his butt down.
Yeah, he does. This is more than likely Travis Kelce's last season.
You can't be doing that to the coach.
No, you can't, especially on national television. You
And
can't
it's not only unprofessional, but you are just making a fool of yourself.
Yeah, you are. So, as it stands right now, Colin has by far and away won the week at 12-3. Everybody else, we're just down here at a lonely 9-6. So, on the bright side,
and the Ravens just tied the game.
They did, and you know what? Chris was the only one to pick the Ravens, he was the only one to pick Detroit. Everybody else, we all picked the Ravens. So,
he returns.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, that's wanted to go out to see.
Oh, right. Yeah, took the kids to dropped them off at the pool.
Yeah,
applied for a job at UPS. See what Brown could do for you.
Mm-hmm.
Gave birth to a Democrat.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, he said Democrat. He's gonna get blacked. Bad host. There
you go.
I'm gonna sit here and think about what I've done.
What?
Anyway, the pinky's out. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right. So it was we just wrapped up the scores.
Okay.
Again, Colin 12-3 so far.
So
Baltimore came back. They just tied the game. So
is there a injury report for the Steelers at all?
Let me look again here. Hold on.
That is very important.
Injury report for the Steelers.
Injury report. Here we go.
Huh. Surprising.
All right.
Aaron Rodgers on this.
All right. DK Metcalf, he's on it. He just did not play. Patrick Queen, linebacker with an oblique. Darius Slay, cornerback. They just got him resting. Joey Porter Jr., he's out with a hamstring. Deshaun Elliott with a knee. Alex Highsmith, linebacker with an ankle. Max Sharping,
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. He's a guard with a knee. TJ Watt, linebacker. He's resting.
Okay.
Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, out with a knee. He's questionable for the game next week. But yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now, let me get my handy dandy notebook.
Yay, the notebook. The all powerful notebook.
One of these days we're going to get mail and I'm going to sing the song. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Hopefully one of these days.
Yeah, right. And because Chris isn't here, loser, we will get his picks later. All right. So, first on the docket, Thursday night football. Seattle going to Arizona. Both teams are 2-1.
We're gonna go with the Seahawks.
Are you? Huh. You know what? Let me look at something here.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
There's a lot of bird mascots in the NFL.
Yeah, just the two.
No. Then there's Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Then there's the Falcons.
So 4.
Then there's the Ravens.
5.
Yeah, so 5.
Yeah. All right. I just feel like I got punked out by my kid. That's fucking awesome. Okay. Arizona is actually favored by 1.5 on this game. Colin's taking Seattle.
I'm still taking Cardinals.
David's taking Arizona. I'm going to go with Arizona on this one. Next up, we have got the Vikings at the Steelers.
This is why I was asking for the injury list. So I'm going to go Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Minnesota as well.
Yeah. Minnesota too.
Okay.
It's kind of, they're kind of lacking.
Well, I mean, the Vikings are favored by 2.5 on that game.
Yeah.
So this might potentially be, let me see here. Commanders at the Falcons.
Where are
I'm
they
going to
going
go with Washington.
Oh, this is the Vikings Steelers game. That's in Dublin.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so Croquet Park in Dublin, Ireland. This is the week of the international games. Mm-hmm. So that is the first international game. That is going to be Sunday morning at 8:30 in the morning Central Time.
Yeah, because I was looking at it and I was like, 8:30 in the morning. When did they start
My
playing?
wife is going to be a little disappointed in me because I'm going to have my volume all the way down. I'm going to have the game on in church. Oh, man. Good times.
But I'm going to go Washington.
Yeah, I'm going with Washington on this one.
For obvious reasons.
How about you, David? Washington is favored in this game by 2.5.
I'm going Washington.
Okay.
It's a safe bet.
It really.
All right. Next up is I don't want to put a jinx on the whole thing, but
that's the Bills.
I think this is our first no shit game of the week.
Yeah, it's
the Saints are going to the Bills. The Bills are favored by 15.5 on this game. I'm going Buffalo.
Yeah.
I already put you down for Buffalo, David. Didn't even need to say
good
it,
on
right?
You. Yeah, good on you. Yeah. My mom's turning in her grave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe she needs to start doing some voodoo and have help the Saints out. All right, this next one.
I don't think it's the Saints that need help.
Yeah. The Detroit Lions are hosting the Cleveland Browns. Now, Detroit is favored by 8.5 points on this game,
I'm
but
gonna
they
go
were
with
also
Detroit.
favored against the Packers were also favored yesterday
Yeah.
against.
Yeah, but considering most of that game was spent punting, I'm still gonna go with Detroit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
One
Yeah,
too.
I'm thinking Detroit on this one. This might be our week of redemption here,
Yeah.
David.
This, oh my god, this next game.
Next up, we've got the Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans.
Who wants to lose less?
Well, the Texans are favored by 6.5.
Why? I don't know.
Here's my beef with this game. Tennessee, what are you doing? Right?
Well, they haven't
It's
been.
going to be basically Cam Ward's homecoming game because Cam Ward, as you all will remember, was the quarterback for the University of Miami that came out of West Columbia High School here in Brazoria County, just 20 minutes down the road. Well, it's more like 25, but still, he's pretty close. Well, his family is. His family works in the Lake Jackson area where I live, and yeah, so it's going to be a homecoming game for him. I don't know that that's going to do any good because, yeah, it's the Titans. Begrudgingly, I think this is going to be where Houston cracks into the win column.
I think you're right on.
They're not going to go 10-3. They're not going to go. Well, they're not going to go. What is it? My brain is cramping. They're not going to go like 13-3. All right, they're not going to run the table the rest of the season. They're going to lose games, right? But yeah, I think Houston's going to right the ship. They're going to start figuring some things out. And I, with the Texans defense, they're not terrible. It's the offense that just is atrocious right now. And I think that DeMeco Ryans needs to definitely step the practice up this week for sure. So we're all going Houston on this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the risk of not having a perfect week. Sure.
Okay. All right. This one, the New England Patriots are hosting the Carolina Panthers.
I'm
The
going to go
Patriots are
Panthers.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking that too. Vegas has got the Patriots up by 5.5.
Yeah, I'll go with the Pats. Oh, this is an easy one.
Hold on. I'm on the fence with this game. Like I said, it's a 5.5 point favorite to New England, but
Oh.
Carolina, I mean, they did what they did against Green Bay, and Green Bay was heavily favored in that game. I mean, a lot of people lost money on that game yesterday. So, I was it a flash in the pan? Was it not so much Carolina beating Green Bay as it was Green Bay beating themselves? I mean, I don't want to take anything away from, the Carolina Panthers, but I think at a certain point we have to kind of ask ourselves that honest question.
Hey, quick question.
Yeah.
Baltimore made a touchdown in the second half. Not the second half, but the second quarter, right? Okay, there it goes. Okay, I'm watching the score and everything, and it kept on propping up that Baltimore didn't make a score. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't even turn on the game right now. But yeah, this next game is if the Giants get to 0-5, I think their head coach is going to be looking for a new gig. So, but I'm going to take the Chargers on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers on this one too. This is
easy.
I don't have any faith in what the Giants are bringing to the table right now. I mean, I know that they had that offensive shootout with the Dallas Cowboys on week 2, in the fourth quarter there. But, Russell Wilson is starting to show Russell Wilson. And it doesn't inspire a lot of faith and confidence because it was the Dallas secondary that they did that against. So,
I'm with you on that
this
one.
game, this next one, Eagles at the Buccaneers. I know that the Eagles are going to take this one, but man, I want to be wrong so bad.
Yeah. The Bucks they're showing it this year.
mean,
They're going
Baker Mayfield. I keep wanting to say Jeremy, but Baker Mayfield, dude, and he's exciting to watch. Like, he's a fun player to watch.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side, they're only the over under. Right now they've got it at 44.5. The Eagles are only favored by 3.5 points on this game. So they're looking for it to be close. They're talking about 1.7 points with a 54.6 probability to win outright. So I'm like, the smart money says go with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm going to take the Eagles. I'd be willing to concede the loss on this particular pick if it does go the other way.
Yeah. Here's something funny that I found on the interwebs.
What about you, Colin? Who are you taking?
Philadelphia.
Okay, go ahead, David.
My wife asked if the dishes were done, and I yelled CJ Stroud. She hugged me, and she knew they were washed.
That's horrible. That's terrible. That's terrible.
He's not wrong. He's not right either.
I get it. I know that he's not wrong. I get it. You don't have to. You don't have to preach to me.
He's not wrong, but he's not
He's
right.
out of line. He's out of line, but he's not wrong. This is going to be a good game here. The Colts at the Rams.
Yeah. I'm taking the Colts, and they're another team that I think this year they're probably going to make the playoffs, unless they got a lot of injuries on the list. They're going for it this year. I'm not saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
It's the fact that they've got a good system. They're building their team around Daniel Jones. I mean, that kid, when he got drafted by the Giants, oh man, he should have pulled a reverse Eli Manning and just demanded to be traded somewhere else. But he's found a good home in Indianapolis. I know he's going to take his knocks. I know he's going to experience the losses there. Even though the Rams are favored by 3.5 points in this game, I think Indianapolis is going to pull that one out. I think they're going to upset the Rams at home. How about you, Colin?
I'm going with Indiana.
Okay, cool. All right. We have parity this week. It's great. The Jaguars going to San Francisco. Now, Nick Bosa for the 49ers, he is going to be out with an ACL tear.
Oh yeah, that was the whole reason. Oh man.
Now the Niners are still favored by 3.5 points on this game. It was an emotional win for them on Sunday. I don't know that that's going to translate though. I mean, with Bosa being out,
I'm still going with the Niners.
You know what? I'm still taking the Niners. Yeah,
because their O team is really good.
Yeah. What about you, Colin?
Niners.
Okay. All right. Because I'm sitting there trying to convince myself, that this is, going to be a thing. Okay, right now we've got the Sunday afternoon game. It's one of the two primetime games for next Sunday. Ravens at the Chiefs. Let me look at the line on this one. I already know who I'm going to take, but I just want to see what the line is on it. And the Ravens are actually favored by 2.5, which is fine because I was going to take Baltimore anyway.
Yeah, I'm going Baltimore.
You taking? Okay. What about you, Colin?
Ravens.
I got a good feeling about these picks, dude. I really do. All right. The second the second primetime game, it's going to be your matinee. It's going to be Bears at the Raiders. Man, this one.
I'm going
Taking
Bears.
the Bears. Taking the Bears.
The Raiders are actually favored by a point and a half.
The Bears.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that it was against Dallas. Basically a scrimmage. But I don't know, man. Yeah. I think the Bears are going to do it. And then we've got our Sunday night game. The Packers are coming to Jerry World. The Packers are favored by 6.5 points. Now, I know that this doesn't really kind of figure into the algorithm, but with the let's just call it what it was, the shit performance on Sunday by the Green Bay Packers, they're going to use the Dallas Cowboys as a punching bag Sunday afternoon. Or Sunday night, rather.
I don't think so. I think the Cowboys might actually take this one.
I'm
surprised. I'm surprised, just as you are, that I'm saying this. But
I mean, considering that the Green Bay's favored by 6.5 points.
Yes, even saying that.
Okay.
I'll take the L and
the money line says it's minus 275 to the Packers. So I mean, that would be a good bet.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Green Bay.
Yeah. Green Bay.
And it's not fair to Brian Schottenheimer because I think he's a good head coach. But one of the glaring deficiencies in Dallas's loss to Chicago yesterday, they have no pass rush. No Micah Parsons, no pass rush at all. None. I mean, they're capable of sacking the quarterback, but they don't have anybody that's dominant out there on the edge that they can count on to be in the mix and pressure the quarterback.
Yeah.
They just don't. And their defensive packages are just, they're not good. I mean, they're not good at disguising what their intent is. I mean, you'll get guys that run up to the line and then bail out last minute, drop into coverage. But you don't have they're not good at disguising their blitzes at all. And if one of their safeties or their corners comes off the edge and tries to do a corner blitz, I mean, you're forcing your safeties or your free safety or even your linebackers to drop back into zone coverage. Green Bay's, they're too fast. So
I'm still
all right. Yeah, hey, it's in ink. So Monday night's a doubleheader.
I'm glad we're
what now?
I'm glad we're filming on this Monday.
Yeah.
I mean, the only one I would want to watch is the Bengals and Broncos. But I'll go with Dolphins. I feel
go with the Dolphins. You know what? Actually, here, hold on a second.
Luckiest team.
Yeah, because the Dolphins are favored, and so are the Broncos. I was going to pick the Broncos anyway.
Yeah, I was going to pick Broncos.
You know what? Nah, I'm taking the Jets.
Oh, you really? Yep. The Jets.
Yep.
I mean,
what about you, Colin?
Put me down for the Jets. God.
Oh,
you don't have to do it because I'm doing it.
No, I know they're gonna win. I just don't. It's a New York team.
Do what? Yeah. No, it's a New York team, and I know it's the Jets, and I'm just like, oh God, it hurts.
Okay,
to pick that,
you know what? As long as it's not the Giants, as long as it's not the Giants.
Hey, you know what? I'm good with that. But the next game is going to be Cincinnati at Denver. Denver's favored by 7.5 points. I'm taking Denver anyway.
Yeah. Denver won.
Though I could see a world where the Bengals win.
Yeah, I could see the winner with the Bengals. Yeah. It's just
Yeah, I mean, I can see it, but I mean, the Bengals are at plus 290. That's not it. I don't know, man. That's just I don't. Unlike the pick with San Francisco, how we just we kind of talked ourselves into it because we were like, yeah, I don't see it going the other way. I can see a pathway. I just don't think that it's realistic. So, but so yeah, we got our picks in. I will get the spreadsheet all daisied up, and we'll call it what it is. Colin, you got your stuff ready?
I would like to say today's been a very busy day, so I only have one joke.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Rising from the smoke and haze of desolation comes a Spartan. He is bent on wronging that which has been set right. It's the greatest genetic code ever to exist here for your ears and eyes to feast upon. Spartan Colin, I hope you're bringing the smoke tonight. Someone get me a joke.
What does a lesbian bring on the first date? A turkey baster.
Turkey baster?
Baster. Yeah, baster.
Okay.
Slipping out through the fog of war, this Spartan continues the fight. Your souls have become collateral damage in the battle against the flood of moral supremacy. Leave your expectations at the door and marvel before the pillar of tactical prowess. Ladies and gentlemen, angry faithful of all ages, this has been Joke Time with Colin.
Okay, so NASCAR playoffs. We are still in the round of 12, but everybody moved up to Loudon, New Hampshire for the weekend. And yeah, so let's get here and there we go. Thank you very much. Ryan Blaney actually won this one, so that's nice. It's a good change of pace. It wasn't a Toyota. I'm happy with that. He started to drive away there toward the end. He had a win margin of 0.937 seconds. He actually led for 116 laps, so good on you. Good on you, dude. Josh Berry. Josh Berry had an absolutely dreadful first round of the playoffs. Finished dead last all three races in that first round. Of course, he was eliminated whenever it came time for the cutoff at Bristol. But so Josh Berry actually came home second, and he ran strong all day long. Surprising. It's amazing what happens when you don't have the pressure of the playoffs on you. William Byron came home third, Joey Logano fourth, Chase Elliott fifth, Christopher Bell sixth, Kyle Larson seventh. So Hendrick Motorsports actually managed to get their three playoff drivers a top 10 finish. So I am down for that. I am here for that chaos. Michael McDowell finished eighth, Ross Chastain ninth, and Chase Briscoe rounds out your top 10. Carson Hocevar, a non-playoff driver, got himself the Xfinity fastest lap of the race, finishing with a lap of 29.92 seconds. He came home 11th. Denny Hamlin 12th. Austin Dillon 13th. Ryan Preece, Alex Bowman 15th. Noah Gragson, Austin Cindric, Chris Buescher, Todd Gilliland, and AJ Allmendinger round out your top 20. Tyler Reddick 21st. Riley Herbst 22nd. Brad Keselowski in 23rd. Cole Custer, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 25th. Bubba Wallace, who comes home 26th. I don't know if it's AI or not, but I see these little blurbs coming across my Facebook feed that Bubba Wallace says that he is going to be a bigger star than Chase Elliott, and the names keep changing, so it makes me think that it's AI, but I wouldn't put it past Bubba Wallace to say some ignorant shit like this. But he said he's going to be the biggest star in NASCAR before it's all said and done. And I'm like, don't really think so. Anyway, so Zane Smith 27th, Eric Jones 28th, Ty Dillon 29th, Kyle Busch comes home 30th. Kyle Busch, I think he's just wanting to get through these playoffs and put this season in the rearview mirror and come back fresh in 2026 and try to do something. Cody Ware, 31st, Shane Van Gisbergen, Justin Haley, John Hunter Nemechek, Ty Gibbs, and Daniel Suarez comes out 36th, dead last. Interesting note, Ty Gibbs and Denny Hamlin, they are teammates at Joe Gibbs Racing. Joe Gibbs, the coach, the legendary coach of the Washington Redskins, owns Joe Gibbs Racing. Obviously, its name is on the building. He's also the grandfather to Ty Gibbs. Ty was giving Denny Hamlin no quarter, right? Beating and banging, not squeezing him down to the bottom of the track, stuff like that. Denny Hamlin dumped him and spun him. And just wrecked him out of the race.
You think Danny Hamlin is going to take it this year?
I hope not. I really hope not.
But he's got the points and everything, right?
I mean, is it possible? Yeah, it is. He does. But with the standings right now for the playoffs, Ryan Blaney is actually at the point for this round. William Byron is in second. Kyle Larson's third. Christopher Bell's fourth. Denny Hamlin is 27 points above the cut line in fifth. Joey Logano, Chase Elliott in seventh, and Chase Briscoe is your eighth place driver, 12 points above the cut line. Your ninth through 12th in that order are Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, Tyler Reddick, and Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace is going to need to win to stay in because he's 27 points to the rears below the cut line right now. Now, it is a let's see here. The next race is going to be at Kansas Speedway, which is a great track. Really good. I talked about it a couple of weeks ago with the Hollywood Casino out there. They built the area around the track up. They bring a lot of acts in. It's basically become a destination for not only NASCAR fans, but like IndyCar, and I think not F1, but IndyCar, and then some of the other major touring series around the country. Just that they bring jobs, and they've built that whole area up, and they've done a masterful job of being the title sponsor for this race, year in and year out. That race, it's going to be this Sunday at 2:00 Central Time. It is the Hollywood Casino 400 presented by ESPN Bet. It is going to be Kansas City, Kansas. It's a 267 lap affair, which is 400.5 miles. It is going to be on USA, MRN, which is the Motor Racing Network, NASCAR radio, channel 90 on your SiriusXM app or radio in your car, and you can also get your driver feeds on HBO Max. With this here, let me see something real quick. Let me look at NASCAR here. I'm looking up the lines here. Okay, so this is coming from DraftKings. So let's do this. All right now, as it stands, Ryan Blaney is favored to win the championship. He's at plus he's plus 350. Kyle Larson's at plus 500. Chase Elliott's at plus 1100. Chase Briscoe is at plus 1,000. Let me see here. Austin Cindric is at plus 3,000 along with Bubba Wallace. They are not heavily favored to win the championship at all. Let's go to race lines here. Come on. Work with me here. Let's go, internet. Oh my. Okay. Anyways, so they don't have the lines out on for Kansas yet. I think next year what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start doing the fantasy NASCAR racing stuff,
Really?
especially with DraftKings. You get your head to heads, you get your parlays, you've got your you're basically like you get a budget, and you have to pick drivers that fit within that salary cap. And I'll either do that or I will find myself a racing league to get into on ESPN or something like that. But yeah, because I wanted to do it this year. I just didn't get into it. I didn't get on. I didn't get with it in time. That's on me. But yeah, that's going to be fun for next week or for next year. But I'm trying to think here.
I don't think there's any other.
Some fun facts about the Hollywood Casino 400.
Baltimore.
Let me see here. Hollywood Casino 400 was first run in 2001 with Jeff Gordon winning the inaugural race. And then Denny Hamlin holds the record for the most driver victories at Kansas with 4 victories. I don't think that's going to play any. It might play into it coming this Sunday for that race. But it's going to depend on. I mean, it's an intermediate track. So I know that Hendrick Motorsports they're going to bring a lot of speed. Penske is going to bring a lot of speed. Joe Gibbs is going to bring a lot of speed. It's just going to be interesting, how it plays out, what tire package that Goodyear is going to bring to the track. Is it going to be a soft tire? Is it going to be a hard tire? What's tire wear going to look like? We know that the racing surface is kind of, aging in and providing for multiple grooves of racing. So it's going to be fun to watch. That's going to be definitely what I'm going to do. So, like I said, I don't really think that we've got anything else. The Ghost of Yotei. Is it Yotei or Yotai?
Yeah.
Yotei. Ghost of Yotei comes out on the 2nd, which is next week. Right?
Nope. Is it?
No, is it this week?
I don't know,
Is it next
man. I'm not caught up on
it. Next week.
Oh, it is next week. It's next week on Thursday. So
yeah.
When I get paid, I've got to go pay off my pre-order with GameStop. So I'm going to be playing that game.
I've been playing
Borderlands
4. I've been enjoying that.
Right. Now,
I downloaded the
I don't want to take us down the rabbit hole here. But, with cancel culture and accountability culture being what they are, especially over the last 3 weeks, something of note, the main voice actor for the protagonist in Ghost of Yotei is she went on her X account, said that she is a member of Antifa and so is her wife. And I'm like, okay, now you've got a lot of people that are canceling their pre-order. There's a lot of people saying that they're not going to buy the game. People were like, well, that sucks because I was looking forward to it. Here's my thing. Yeah, I understand making a statement. At the end of the day, that voice actor has already been paid for their time. They did. They got the check was cut. They've got their money. It's whatever.
Don't they get like they
don't get royalties unless it's built into their contract as a royalty plus. So the royalty plus is
because that's how Tony Stark got all his money.
Got who? What?
That's how not Tony Stark. Tony Hawk. Sorry, that's how he got all his.
Okay, so Tony Hawk, that's different. Okay, Tony Hawk. Not only did he lend his voice to those games, he lent his likeness, and the games have his name in the title. All right, so that's completely different.
Okay.
Yeah, coming from one voice actor, right? As a voice actor, when you sign a contract for a gig, you can do royalty, or you can do royalty plus, or you can do pay per performance hour. So, more than likely, what ended up happening is that they they got a per performance hour paycheck, right? Like, hey, we want you to cut some voice lines or sound bites for this character. Come into the studio. We'll get through the read. We'll pay you for your time. Send you on out the door. Great. Awesome. Unless that voice actor has a royalty share plus, there's three kinds of contracts. There's royalty share plus, and then there's performance hour, right? So the performance hour, you get your money up front. It doesn't matter how well the project does after that. It's whatever, right? You got your money up front. Fare thee well, Felicia. You got your royalty share, which you don't get anything up front, and you have to wait till that product starts selling, and then you usually get anywhere from 20 to 50% of the royalty share. Now, being it's the major studio video game, probably looking at maybe anywhere from 10 to 20%, depending on what the SAG-AFTRA rules are, which is the Screen Actor Guild. That's the union out there. Then you got your royalty share plus, which you get paid up front for your time, and then you get royalties for the sales after the fact. So usually those are reserved for people like Peter Cullen or Steve Downes, the voice of the Master Chief. It's because their voices are so iconic, right? You get the guy, he's I forget his name. He did Spike Spiegel in Cowboy Bebop. He's got like hundreds of anime credits. He actually holds the Guinness Book of World Records for most anime, voiceover jobs, kind of a thing. So, as far as credits are concerned, people like that have been in the industry for a while, their voice is recognizable, and they're known for their range, right? Or they've just nailed one role so hard that nobody else can do it. Those guys get royalty share plus more than likely, right? Because they're going to, hey, we want you to keep coming back. Now, when Ghost of Tsushima came out, the voice actor that they had for Jin, that game was a one-off, right? Yeah, you got your DLC. When you went out to the island of Isiki, I think it was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but unless they're going to do DLC, this voice actor for this game, that's it. They're not going to be sequels to this game, right? And if there's going to be another Ghost title, they're not going to use the same voice actor. So she has gotten her money, and she's on down the road. I'm all for First Amendment rights and everything like that. I get it. I'm also for accountability, and I don't ever, and especially we here at this show and our channel, we don't advocate violence on anybody for any reason at all, period. Even if we don't disagree, I mean, even if we disagree with the person, we've had people come and go on the show, and we've not wished them ill at all. We want them to succeed. We want them to better themselves. People need to understand that with that freedom of speech, that freedom of expression, also comes consequences for your actions. And if you market yourself as this type of a person, don't be too terribly surprised when you start seeing jobs dry up and people signing contracts with other talent because they don't want to deal with your political heartbreak, or not necessarily heartbreak, but you're like your political BS, for lack of a better term.
It's even worse.
Nobody wants to deal with it.
It's even funnier and worse than that. There's an offshoot group calling themselves the LGB, and they're separating from the TQ plus. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, well, I mean, all that is, that's a discussion for another show. But
yeah,
getting back to my point, they've already received their money. Me not playing this game is not going to affect her pocketbook. Okay. It might in the grand scheme of things, where Sony is like, yeah, we're going to blacklist her because this game sold like crap. And to be completely and perfectly honest with you, it's probably going to sell like crap anyway. It's going to undersell. It's going to undershoot their expectations, right? Their projections. Because in this day and age, this market where we're starting to see people like Nintendo trying to patent a game mechanic where nobody else will be able to summon an animal to help you in a battle. Like, come on, really? Nintendo's doing that? Nintendo's still charging $80 for their games. Microsoft just released price increases for their consoles. Effective October 3rd, the 1 terabyte Xbox Series X, like I've got over here in my room, just not even maybe 8 feet down to my right. It was $500 when I bought it. It's now going to be $650.
Really?
The 2 terabyte Galaxy edition of the Series X, it's going to be more than a PS5 Pro. It's going to come in at $750. And I'm like, why? You're going to charge an extra $100 for that extra terabyte of storage. Why? I mean, now granted, I did go out and I spent, I think it was like 120 on the Seagate expansion card for my Series X. I bought the 1 terabyte one, so now I've got plenty of storage. I don't really have to like pick and choose what I'm going to keep and what I'm going, what's going to go. I like with the PS5, I know that you can expand your internal storage with the SSD slot. Sony wants you to use their corporate branded SSD stick with the heat sinks on them or whatever, and you're getting the quote unquote more affordable options that are flooding the market on places like TikTok Marketplace and things like that. With the console wars having come to basically kind of a head at this point, I see manufacturers, I see console manufacturers, I see studios rolling back prices. I mean, they're going to treat it like it's Walmart. They're going to roll prices back heavy, just because their sales are drying up, and they're going to have to start like doing massive, like soul searching to figure out why. And here's a little hint. I'm talking to you, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. You forgot who got you to where you're at. We as gamers, we are your demographic. It doesn't matter what our age range is. You could be, grade school playing Pokemon and all the indie titles on Game Pass or whatever, or you could be the old school gamers like us that we have the current generation, but we're not afraid to let it sit there and collect dust because we still got our retro consoles with all the physical media there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still rocking out on my PS3, right? I've still got my old school Nintendo up in my closet, my walk-in closet. I've got my Super Nintendo up in my closet. I've got games for both.
Yeah, but
I've got a 360 upstairs. I've got my OG Xbox in my closet as well.
But all that, I mean, saying that, you're not their demographics anymore. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, no. And here's the thing. I still look for new games to play. I do. Okay. Yeah, granted, right now on the Xbox, I'm playing Quantum Break. Awesome. I'm going to finish that. I'm going to go back.
The 007 game comes out.
Yeah. What is it? Daylight or something like that. First Light. Is it First Light? I think so. Yeah. I mean, when the 007 game comes out, yeah, absolutely. When Helldivers 2 became available for Xbox, I was excited. I was like, hell yeah, dude, I'm going to get in on that, especially because they got ODST armor. Sony said, no, Xbox will not get physical copies. I'm like, man, I don't know, dude. I don't know how. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Now, do I still want to play it? Yeah, absolutely. Well, I more than likely go buy the PS5 physical copy and get it for, get it used at GameStop for like $30-40. Yeah, probably. I would rather play it on Xbox, but I don't want to pay for a digital copy just because I don't own that. I don't own the license to that, which is why the studios developer studios hate retro gaming, and it's because like they have no control over it. What the copies that are out there are, they're constantly exchanging hands. And with these consoles nowadays being so online dependent, all they've got to do is say, "Oh, the servers are down. We're no longer supporting this." And you've got hundreds of hours invested in these games. You've got hundreds of dollars invested in these games. You can no longer play them because they weren't yours to begin with.
Well, that's the same thing with a lot of the movies that are coming out now.
Yeah, which is why I bought a physical copy of Superman, the newest one. So it's gonna actually it gets delivered tomorrow. I bought it on 4K Blu-ray just because I'm like, you know what, this is a movie I want to own. I mean, I've got close to 400 movies on my Vudu account, or Fandango at home, whatever you want to call it now.
Yeah.
And I know that I get an email usually once a year that I've got to relink my, I got to sync my accounts back up and everything like that. If I want to maintain use of those movies, they're not making me pay another fee because I've already paid the one-time licensing fee. It's just that if for whatever reason they decide that they don't want to have that on the server anymore, I lose that movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. My previous wife, Colin's mom, for her birthday one year, I bought the box set of the Twilight movies. I've got all 5 of the digital copies on my Vudu account, and they're just sitting there. I know I don't watch them, just like, but
I miss the commentary and the extra stuff on the DVDs.
yeah, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to get the physical copy of Superman. So, and I've got my brother, God love him. He got me the director's cut of Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan on Blu-ray. Now, granted, the director's cut, and this is what's funny, the director's cut of The Wrath of Khan is only like 16 seconds longer than the theatrical release.
Ah.
But there's commentary on there as well. One thing that I wish that they would come out with is the William Shatner cut of Star Trek V. And that is because, William Shatner directed that movie. And his cut was like a little over 2 hours. And the studio was like, no, we needed it about 1 hour and 45. And it's specifically for the reason of they wanted to be able to get 2 screenings in, or get in 2 screenings per night. Got a 2-hour movie. And I'm like, that's dumb. Because like with like Endgame, dude, they were doing like 2 or 3 showings a day still, and it was a 3-hour movie, right? So I don't know. I want to see the Shatner cut of that movie, just because there's a lot of just because of the extra storytelling. That movie gets a lot of grief amongst the Star Trek community, and a lot of people said so, and it made William Shatner almost feel, he thought that he ruined the franchise with it, and he made jokes about it when I went to go see him a couple of months ago, up there at the House of Blues in Houston. But I happen to like that movie, right? And the one line in that whole movie that just makes the whole thing worth it, and it really kind of focuses on those subjects that we don't get to talk about a lot in mainstream. And he looks at the antagonist of the movie, of the plot, and he's like, what does God need with a starship? Right? And he's like, you question your God? He's like, well, I'll ask again, what does God need with a starship? And then Kirk gets blasted, right? He gets tossed with an energy bolt. Spock goes over there to check on him, and McCoy's like, we need to get out of here. And Spock is like, you didn't answer his question. What does God need with a starship? And he blasts Spock, right? Of course, then they all 3 get out of there, whatever. But, and I'm like, it asks those hard questions, right?
Mhm.
And like even today, on one of the mini Star Trek fan pages that I'm a part of on Facebook, somebody tried to get political and said Trumpers can't be Trekkies because they're not compassionate and blah 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 blah. And I was like, you know, that's kind of a bold statement. I said, to deny access to the fandom to a specific group of people because you don't agree with their ideology makes you no better than anybody else. In fact, it makes you just as bad as the group you're trying to paint as being evil. I said, it's not very inclusive of you. It's very closed-minded. I said, I'm not going to get in a protracted, trench warfare battle with you or anybody else for that matter. It's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
And dude, that comment got a lot of positive traction. I mean, like a lot of likes on it. And I'm like, see, because at the end of the day, what makes Star Trek great is the fact that it forces us to deal with issues of humanity and being able to work through our differences for the betterment of mankind, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. My wife comes, are you being a keyboard warrior? I'm like, no, I'm just throwing this out there and then I'm going to leave. But speaking of sci-fi, yeah, we're going to land the plane, Colin, here real quick. The trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu came out yesterday.
It looks
Yeah, dude. I'm like, yeah, buddy. That looks so good. And the fact that it's a theatrical release, that it's not going to be a series. I'm like, okay, they can wrap this up in an hour and a half, hour 45, maybe 2.5 hours. That'd be great. Right. I haven't gotten hyped for a Star Wars theatrical release in a very long time. I'm excited for this. Right. I want to see that on the big screen. I think it's going to be cool. But okay. So I said I didn't want to go past an hour too much. And here we are, coming up in an hour and a half.
Yeah, I noticed that, and that's why I'm like,
look, you guys both let me get on my soapbox, so you have nobody but yourselves to blame.
No,
Dave, no. As the producer, you can mute me and then boot me from the studio. Come on, guy, you know better.
And have you come down here berate me because you think you no? It's
hey, look, as long as your logic is sound, I can be calmed. Okay, I can be. What's the word I'm looking for? I can be soothed. Okay, so slow your roll. All right. I apologize to you. I apologize to you. I apologize to the many people out there that are going to watch and listen to us on replay. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we would be remiss if we if we didn't start our way out the door without a word from the President of the United States.
There was once a pirate, wonderful pirate. She was a terror on the high seas and a demon in the sheets. Credit to lesbians everywhere, really, a great lesbian pirate. Her name was Bearded Clam. She really was wonderful. Anyway, as she used to say, as she plundered both booty and pussy, scissor me timbers.
And there he goes, on out the door. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure again this week. This has been Nerd Sports episode 230. Be back here next time, same bat time, same bat channel. Yes, I know that's copyright infringement. I don't care. But with that being said, I'm Johnny Skelton.
I'm David Dickerman.
I'm Colin Skelton.
That was quick. All right, you become privy, become indentured. We'll see you later. Get out of here. You ain't got to go home.